Steel City Sports World back in the house. Listen, man, we got a great show. So much is going on. We got to get into it. We're going to try to get Big Roma back up here in a minute. Hopefully, he gets everything working. But what a week! What a weekend, fellas. How you feel, Smoking Jim? Let's start with you. So you don't be whining. How you doing, Jim? What's going on?
Doing good.
All right, glad you're doing good, man. Glad you're doing good. How about you, Claudia? What's on your mind? What's going on?
We're doing good. 1 foot in front of the other, brother. One foot in front of the other.
There you go. Ralph, you good?
I'm good. I tell you what, Luther, I almost went to the hospital. I almost fell out of my wheelchair because Mike Tomlin stepped down. I was surprised.
Oh, man. He almost stepped down and you almost fell down. Man.
Yeah, I almost fell out of my wheelchair. Yep.
All right. Filmo, what's up with you?
Man, look, it's one day at a time over here, man. Man, it's tough. It's rough being a Steelers fan.
Man, heart attack and now all this, now new coaches. Hey, man. All right, Destiny, what's going on? We got Tiger Stripes Media. Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, that's my friend Brian Pettit.
All right, appreciate him being in the building. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Listen, give us a call, 412-530-5063. Big Rome, you back? Can you hear us, Rome?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you
yes,
back.
Sir.
Let's
Big Rome.
go. Listen, we got so much to talk about. We want everybody's views on this. What do you feel about the Mike Tomlin stepping down? Brutal game against the Texans. Everybody would want to step down after that. But let's get started. Claudia, what you got for us in your huddle up?
You know, you can say what you want about the coaching aspect of Tomlin's career, but I think the biggest mistake he made was because he's the architect of the team. He brought these players in and they let him down. Simply let him down. They didn't do their job and they let him down. If I were him, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. He's made zillions of dollars. Everybody knows who he is. He's supposedly going to be offered some TV opportunities. I would not step on a football field unless I had a microphone in my hand if I were him. Be in a studio, be in a football field. I mean, as an analyst, I would never coach again if I were him. It's a very difficult position, difficult job to do. Now more than ever, I just don't think that. Again, I've said this before about Calipari. He's won championships. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's got money. Pack it in. Rick Pitino, same thing. Pack it in. Those guys, they're in their 60s and 70s. You know, I know me personally, man. I don't know how many more years I got to go. Depends how many more bills I got to keep coming in. But if I were Tomlin, there's no way in hell I would step on a field again without a microphone in my hand.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I hear that. Smoking Jim, what you got for us?
Hey, thanks. Sad day, man. I tell you, me and Mike Tomlin used to be friends until on KDKA radio. But to my knowledge, Mike Tomlin has never lied to me. And he told me over and over and over again on several occasions he would never, ever do television or broadcasting. So we'll see if that holds true. I never thought Mike Tomlin would quit on his team like Aaron Donald.
Oh, my gosh. Here we go.
But if I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers, don't forget now, the Steelers hired a whole bunch of coaches that wasn't here more than 2 or 3 years. And when they went 40 years without a winning season. They didn't start that good run until 1969 with Chuck Noll. And the people that hired Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and Mike Tomlin are no longer in the building. Omar Khan with no ball from a beach ball, and R.P. the second never hired anybody. Don't forget he got to hire with the rep. And that's the man that he thought he could hire with the Rooney Rule era. So if it was me, without hire a bridge coach, the bridge coach would be Mike McCarthy. I know he's 62. The reason I would do that is you got to get an offensive coach in here to satisfy the fans. Mike McCarthy has always put together an outstanding offensive staff. And when he steps away after 6 years, you could probably promote somebody off his staff to be your next head coach.
That ain't gonna happen, Jim. I could promise you that. That's the last thing that's gonna happen. All right, Smoking. That wasn't too bad, Smoking Jim. I like what you had to say. I just want to reflect on this season, man. I had a chance to go to the game and check out the game. Great time, great crowd. The energy was great. Seats were good. Got to sit right behind Monday Night Football.
Wow.
It was
man.
pretty cool. It was pretty cool seeing Ryan Clark, Troy Aikman out there. But the game was an absolute disgrace. It's a shame that A-Rod had to go out like that. He took a beating. You know, his last pass as a quarterback in NFL might be an interception, but you got to give all the credit. That defense is real, the real deal. Will Anderson, Hunter, Stingley Jr., those guys are terrific. They play man-to-man and put pressure on with just 4 guys. C.J. Stroud was trying to play on the Steelers. 5 turnovers, 5 fumbles, and they still went 30-6. But overall, it was a great experience. I enjoyed it. You know, the DJ had it hype at the Great Hall. It was a nice time. But all good things come to an end, and it's sad to see Tomlin go. But at least, as I said, he would go out on his own terms. Smoking Jim, another major L for you. You said this was going to be an easy victory for the Steelers. So accept that, live on that. They didn't show up at all. Offense, 6 points. And the fact that Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator for the Steelers, is getting head coaching opportunities, man, it must be nice to be part of that good old boy network, because he's not a good offensive coordinator. Wasn't at Atlanta, wasn't at Tennessee, and he just keeps getting better and better. Absolute disgrace. Hey, we got our first call, though. We got Mark Brentley in the house.
Hey, Mark.
Early. What's up, Mark?
Hey, gentlemen, what's going on? What's going on?
What's going on, Mark?
It's a bittersweet day.
Right.
It's bitter because Tomlin, will be stepping down. But I just want to analyze a few things. First of all, and then now I'm not a sports guy, and I told you that, guys, before. I can't even spell the word sports. But you guys make it so interesting. Y'all make it so interesting. But I just wanted to put a shout out and say how proud I am. I listened to the Rooney press conference, and then I listened to the Tomlin press conference the day after the day of the game. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I heard Smoking Jim with the question. Was that true?
That wasn't Smoking Jim. That was Kevin Cameron. People say they sound a lot alike. That wasn't you down there, right, Jim?
Oh.
Jim?
Okay.
Obviously, that wasn't Jim.
That wasn't Jim. Jim's not even answering now, so he wasn't down there either. But no, that was Kevin Cameron.
It sounded okay. They didn't show the person, but it just, oh my God, sounded just like him. But he had great questions. But secondly, I would like somebody to analyze too. Tomlin has been one who's always dotted all the I's and crossed the T's. And it's unusual for him to leave a contract when he still has a year left. It just doesn't sound like him. I personally think that he was encouraged. He was maybe shown where the door was in a nice way. He might have said that things are running out, but I think he was encouraged towards the stepping down. Because it just doesn't sound like him. But the flip side of that is, whoever that they decide to get, Tomlin has set the bar so high. Okay, not only being a decent coach, but he was also a decent human being and a decent neighbor. He was involved in all kinds of programs throughout the city. I know. 15 years or so ago in the Pittsburgh Public Schools, I have a father's program. We got a video that he taped for us to advocate the importance of fathers getting involved. And he's involved with another county-wide man up program. So,
Right.
on all bases, no scandals, no problems, nothing negative. So we're extremely happy and excited for him. But the game, sometimes, we were, you might have played a better team. And then sometimes our total plan for the game didn't seem to match up. And I don't know. You guys are the tech people. We called plays that I could have called. You know what I mean? And it was nothing new, and they didn't really stick with anything. So I'm just curious to see what you guys think as we move forward. But I do want to close with one comment. I couldn't wait for you guys to get on, really. One final comment. I was listening to another station here, a 50,000 watt station, and they had their lines open, and people were calling in and mixed calls, but few of them bashing Tomlin and so on. But there was one call, older gentleman, and he simply said, something, this issue about Tomlin, and he said, it's really, kind of, and the host said, yeah, you got to look at race, yeah, you want to say he's black. And the guy said, well, yeah, in other words, why people were being so negative. And the caller ended by saying that the thing that you got to remember is be careful what you ask for. If you're going to bash this man, one of the winningest coaches around we've had for a while, and we get somebody, you better be prepared for possibly a rebuild or a 3-14 season, for a couple of years. You won't be able to give away those tickets. And that's going to be very painful for a town that loves sports and loves football. Hey, man, thank you, guys. And I just want to hear your response. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks again.
Appreciate it, Mark.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mark.
Good ones. Smoker Jim, you want to add something to that? I don't want to leave you out and hear you whining and stuff.
Well, hey, man, Mark hit it on the head. The difference in the game was Houston's Will Anderson played like a first-round draft choice, and Derek Harmon played an invisible game again. Even the new coach.
Derek Harmon had a sack, Jim. Come on.
He sure did.
Yeah, right. Hey, if the new coach's first question should be, can you cut a first-round draft choice around there? You know what I mean? So if this first Steelers got 12 first-round draft picks, the last 12, and only one of them got off the second contract. You can't win football games like that. And they got to do a better job with their first-round draft picks, not just Harmon, with all of them guys.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Fellas, your thoughts. Let's get into this. Big Rome, you've been kind of quiet. Fillmore, Ralph? Go ahead, Fillmore.
Yeah, you guys start. I'll come on.
So to speak to Mark's point about Tomlin being a human, on my grandfather's 80th birthday, my grandfather been season ticket holder since 1971. Mike Tomlin sent a letter of thanks to my grandfather, directly to him. It wasn't even typed; it was handwritten, man. That's how good of a human being Mike Tomlin is. Mike Tomlin got hired in 2007. I think at that time the top technology was a BlackBerry, and I think Jim still had that phone. Crazy how it works.
I had one, but I don't have it now. I had one.
Jim keeping it alive. It's vintage right now for Jim. It's vintage. But man, he's going to Hall of Fame as soon as he's eligible. He won 2 Super Bowls, people. Because we gotta remember, we gotta add this time with Tampa Bay. And people always say, "What's his signature? What's his stamp?" His stamp is turnovers. Every year since he was a defensive coordinator with the Minnesota Vikings, he's always been top 5, top 10 at the least, and one at the most in turnovers. That's what he does. And that game, the team has created turnovers. He designed the scheme of all senior citizens, and they created turnovers. They were but the offense could not capitalize on it. The downfall of Mike Tomlin is not being able to draft or develop a quarterback. That's the downfall of him. That's his main fault. But man, I say it's bittersweet. I wanted Mike Tomlin to finish out his contract, but he didn't. And sometimes I think he didn't meet his own standard. And when it comes to a point you don't meet your own standard, because he coined the phrase, the standard is the standard. So he didn't meet his own standard. So I think he took his talents back home. He missed all of his children's upbringing. You know, he was his kid going to Maryland. He'd go back and forth when he can. I seen Mike Tomlin and James Harrison a couple track meets around the city and things like that. He's going back to be a husband and a father. He's taking his wife out the vacations and things. He's spending time with his family. Hey, good for Mike, man. But be careful what you wish for, Pittsburgh. Y'all was saying fire Tomlin. The Rooneys, they have yet to have a miss as far as hiring a coach. But this is a new NFL. We don't know what's coming up next.
Maryland. What did he miss at Maryland? His son never got off the bench at Maryland or Boston College.
Jim, listen, you always gonna throw shade. Hey,
yes, he did. He went to when he went to go see his son play at Maryland. That's why they drafted Anthony McFarland. Because Anthony McFarland was a running back from Maryland, and he went to go see his son, but he seen McFarland get loose on him. So that's why they drafted him in the first place. See, I come with the facts, man. Don't play with me.
Listen, man. Look. Here's some realism too that you guys we need to talk about. You know, people talk about the playoff record, which is bad. But listen, Ben Roethlisberger's final years, H and A-Rod, Mason Rudolph, Duck Hodges, Mitch Trubisky, Kenny Pickett, John Fields, and an old washed Russell Wilson and Washington A-Rod. Listen, man, that's Hall of Fame rating. How you win 68 games with that? Listen,
and go to playoffs.
No problem. They stayed with Ben too long. They could have drafted Lamar Jackson. They could have drafted Jalen Hurts.
Yes.
Jordan Love.
When it rubbed Big Ben the wrong way, and they reached and got Mason Rudolph, and he's a backup at best. And you know, that's the problem. You know, if you in this league, look at all the quarterbacks left. Those are franchise type guys. A lot of number one picks: Caleb Williams, Matthew Stafford. You know, Drake,
and they're in the playoffs,
right? So the fact that you can get in the playoffs with a roster with this is, you know, it is what it is. Hey, we do have another call.
Hey, Luther, for the past 5 years, they picked the Steelers to be third or fourth in the division, and each of those years they still make the playoffs. That's overachieving.
All right. Hey, we got another caller. We got my man Tyson. Tyson, what's going on? What's on your mind, bro?
Hey, fellas, how y'all doing?
Good.
I just wanted to say a couple points real quick, like that a couple things could be true at the same time. That Mike Tomlin is a Hall of Fame coach, and I've said that, you know, to people around, he's a Hall of Fame coach, and you can't take nothing from him. But at the same time, you could also say that it's time for a fresh start without demeaning the man either. You know what I'm saying? I've always been on that side.
Mm-hmm.
My other point is, I'm going to say this, is I hope that when we get this new coach, that it's not the same thing that we got with Mike Tomlin, defensive-minded coach. That's all we're going to do is play defense, and it's a new NFL. It's a new NFL, a new day. It's score. You can get an offensive-minded coach and put some defense around them. But if you hire another coach with the same kind of mindset and the same kind of thing that Steelers have always done for so many years, it's going to be the same thing over and over again.
I hear what you're saying. Now look, what if Houston goes to the Super Bowl and they play a defensive-minded team like Seattle?
Mike Vrabel.
Your opinion?
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel.
Good point, Lou.
Would that change your mind? I mean, those are two legendary defenses, two of the top defenses. Would that change your mind if those two go?
Not necessarily, because if you look at the offenses that they run, they're trying to score. They're out to score. I'm not saying that the Steelers were not trying to score, but their offensive coordinator selection said so. Matt Canada.
Yeah, exactly.
All these guys do is want to run the ball and get. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference is what I'm saying. You know,
we could bring in a defensive coach. Bill Cowher was a defensive coach, but he brought in the right coordinators.
Tyson,
So I mean,
you make a good point, but Luther hit it on the head. And the NFL, really, Major League Baseball, NFL, they're copycats. If somebody does the run and shoot, then the next team does the run and shoot. If somebody would win the Super Bowl by having their backs carrying 35 times a game, they're going to. So Luther makes a good point about the defense. I think that they should just do what they want to do instead of, copycatting. But I understand what you're saying too, Tyson. They need to open things up, and it is a different league. But the rumor is that what's the name? Chris Shula might be at the head of the list, and I said he's a defensive guy. I'd go after an offensive guy. That's what they need. I agree with you.
Yeah.
So Tyson,
let me say this then. Instead of you investing $100 million or so on the defense, how about we can invest, half of that into the offense and
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
But here's the rub. When you say something like that, what we have is that we went to the draft and we drafted offensive line. And we haven't invested in the offense all like that because there was no money in that because we was all getting rookies. All of that is the chickens are going to come home to roost because you're going to have to sign an offensive lineman who are good. We're going to have to sign a wide receiver eventually, like we did in the offseason. So it's all about balance. Right. At that point, we had a bunch of young people on offense because our defense was our mainstay because they were the ones that was coming into the end of their contracts. And we was letting go of a lot of dead weight on offense. So you'll see in the upcoming years, the investment on the offense has to happen because the offensive lineman that we have, number one draft pick or was he a number one or number – our center is one of the top 10 centers, if not the top 5 centers in the league at this point.
right.
He's going to need to get money. Fontana, if he keeps at his trajectory, he is a tackle. He's going to have to get paid. We got guards that are going to have to get paid. We're going to have to re-sign another guard because I don't know if we're going to keep our left guard. So the balance of it all, as far as financially speaking, is because all of our young players who developed on defense had to get re-signed. And that's where the money started shifting. And you're going to see this shift in the next upcoming years because if not, we're not going to have an offensive line to block whoever we have our quarterback. It's all about balance. It's all about a circle of life right there.
But you have a great point real quick, Ron. They drafted DeCastro, they drafted Pouncey, and I forget the right tackle, and they let that young line develop. And that young line was on their prime. They started getting the defense. That defense got old. Now they draft the offense. So it's
the cycle.
It's a cycle.
Cyclical.
Yeah. Hey, one thing I do have a problem with, like this year, I don't understand why Roman Wilson could not get on the field. He wasn't even activated.
I don't get that either.
In the playoff game.
And Arthur Smith's offense is not hard, Luther. I mean,
hard.
I think that was a Rodgers thing.
Yeah.
I think Rodgers stuck with the guys that he could trust. Yeah. And now that Rodgers is gone, they're not going to have a choice because all of these people who they signed, they're not going to be on the team next year.
Thielen retired.
You're going to have to see. Yeah, because Thielen retired. They're not going to re-sign Valdez Scanley. I mean, all of those were, for all intents and purposes, they were gamble.
Yeah.
Hey, look, next year, listen, I don't know if you guys heard Art Rooney's his press conference today. He said he still wants to be competitive. So they're not talking about tanking or anything else.
Right, exactly.
But I think that's the wrong way. I think they need to break it all down.
Yeah.
Get for TJ Watt. I mean, you have veteran guys. See what you can get. They're not going to compete for a championship next year.
If you could take and trade TJ Watt, get 4 guys in a draft pick, you're good.
I don't think they give as much for TJ Watt this year as they would have last year.
Right.
Hey, Tice, you still there? All right.
Yeah, still here.
Oh, okay, Tice. So if you're the GM, what do you do in the draft? To be picking in the 20s again. Do you try to reach for a quarterback, or what's your first position? What's the position you would go for?
And my thing is, the draft is in Pittsburgh. Make some moves to try to move up. You know what I'm saying? Like, we already the hot topic of the NFL.
Right.
Move to try to move up to get, to move up. We're playing the 25th spot, or drafting to the 25th spot. I don't know. I just feel like we got a lot of make a move. It's in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you're right, Tyson. They need to give this new coach, some horses here. So, and go in the draft and get them.
Trade TJ, trade DK, trade them both.
Oh,
and Cam Hayward.
I would say
no one wants him.
And use TJ as leverage to move up.
No, Cam Hayward wants the Super Bowl, so let him get one somewhere else.
I don't know how much leverage. I don't know how much TJ Watt is would give you on the trade market.
Not now.
He only had 7 sacks this year. He's making $40 million. You can get a linebacker with those type of numbers for a lot less. But we'll see, Ice. Any other thoughts before you go? We got another call.
No, I appreciate you guys' thoughts. Keep doing good job, guys.
Appreciate
All right, thank you, Tyson.
Thank you.
All right. We got my man Underground in the building. What's up, Underground? Make sure you give us a call.
Underground.
Listen. There's not really much to talk about that game, but there was a list going around about available coaches. Smoking Jim, you've been kind of I don't want to leave you out. Your thoughts. What coach are you looking for? Where do you think they go? Some of the hot names, Brian Flores. We mentioned Chris Shula. He's a Nepo baby, grandson of the great Don Shula. Clint Kubiak, another Nepo guy.
And Juan Randall.
I don't know. Where would you go, Smoking Jim?
Well, perhaps you didn't hear my opening when I said I would hire Mike McCarthy, but
but he's not. That's not going to happen, Jim.
If you're talking about who you have,
yeah, but realistic. That's not real. That's not realistic, is it?
And if you're talking about that garbage list I see in the newspaper, out of all those guys, if I was picking one, it'd be Kubiak, the offensive coordinator from the Seattle Seahawks. I agree with all you guys. Most of you guys are saying that they have to go and improve that offense, and Kubiak was doing. I mean, you look at Seattle don't have much talent on that offense, and they sure get it done.
They got 2 good running backs and the best receiver in the league this year, Jill.
Well,
right.
Thanks to Kubiak. And they sure didn't miss DK Metcalf at all. So again, if I was going, what I would do, if you're not going to hire Mike McCarthy, if you're not going to hire Kubiak, I would make an offer to Kurt Signetti.
65. No. He's not going. He's not leaving.
He's going with Indiana. Yeah,
I don't see that. Hey, let's get this phone call, and we'll go back to.
And his buyout's too high too. Yeah. He has a high buyout. So. Okay.
All right, LD.
Yes.
Hey, what's up, LD? Thanks for calling your man.
I just wanted to call in and say it's amazing the Steelers won as many games as they won this year. You compare the talent with the team they played in the playoffs defensively, there's no comparison.
Yeah.
That defensive team, I think they might have a chance to go all the way.
Yeah,
that was CJ Stroud.
If their quarterback stops turning the ball over, they have a chance. But Stroud has to play better. I mean, 5 fumbles, and they're not doing much with a turnover machine at quarterback. But that defense is what they really do.
But they still scored 30 points.
Yeah,
the defense.
Defense scored.
They scored 30 points because the Steelers beat themselves. That's what happened.
There you go.
The Steelers didn't take advantage of the turnovers.
They beat themselves.
Exactly.
That's true. They got all those turnovers in the first half, and the fact that they only had 6 points, 2 field goals. Yeah, the offense wasn't impressive at all.
It was 6-7, 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Yes.
Yeah, I just have one question for you guys.
Go ahead.
The team when a Super Bowl with a quarterback who can't run, very little mobility, and his accuracy passing, it went downhill as the season went on. Can you really win with a quarterback like that?
Well, that's what I was saying at the beginning of the year. I didn't know how much he had left. He actually surprised me. He had such a better season I thought he would. But you weren't going to win with a 42-year-old guy who can't move, trying to get rid of the ball as quick as possible so he can take hits. I mean, it was a stopgap, and they got to stop these stopgaps and really try to go get a franchise guy. It's time. It's time, in my opinion.
Yeah, this coach is not going to walk in with a franchise quarterback in his fingertips.
I mean, hey, we don't know what Will Howard got, and I keep trying to tell y'all, man. Sawyer Robertson is second in the league in college football in yards and first in touchdowns. He plays the quarterback for the Baylor Bears. I'm trying to tell y'all that man is Big Ben with better mobility.
Veteran quarterback, Willis from Green Bay. I don't think he'll cost a lot. The game is slower to him. Getting a rookie, nobody's really standing out, and especially by the time they pick, I think they'd be better off going for Malik Willis or somebody of that ilk.
You can bring your buddy in, Claudio, Marcus Mariota.
Oh gosh.
It'd been good.
Claudio.
Hey, LD, what else on your mind, LD?
Just one question before I go.
There you go.
Metcalf get a pass in the first quarter, and then he doesn't get another pass thrown to him until the fourth quarter. Can somebody explain that to me?
He dropped both of them.
Well, he caught his first two, he dropped the next two, and Aaron Rodgers got pissed and didn't throw it to him again.
No.
But there was no creativity. When you have one weapon, you have to scheme them open, and outside of the first two drives, there was no creativity. I mean, he was just running the same patterns. When you're there live, you see it's the same patterns. No separation. They know what he's going to run, either, a streak or he's going to do a deep end. It just the offense is bad. The scheme is bad. I was there with my guy Lee, and he said the same thing. The scheme is horrible. I'm glad. That's one thing I'm glad about. No more Art Smith plays. So that's a plus with Tomlin leaving. What else you got, LD?
Okay. I hope you guys pick your Super Bowl winners. I think the Texans are going to take it all. Enjoy your show, fellas.
All right, thanks a lot, LD.
Thank you, LD.
All right. Listen, guys, as far as this game, there wasn't much to talk about. One bright spot was Jack Sawyer.
Yes.
I like the progress that he's made this year. He caused one interception with a good pressure on C.J. Stroud. So I like that. And it just goes back to what I said at the beginning of the year. They should have tried to trade T.J. Watt when he wanted that $40 million. I think that would have been the right move, trying to go for it. I didn't think they had a Super Bowl roster, but they I guess they went for it. But it makes you think that Tomlin knew this was going to be his last year. Why they didn't draft Shador, while they held on for A-Rod. He said, I'm going to try to go out with an old veteran team, and this will be it, But I don't think the fans appreciated Mike Tomlin enough. Yes, there's, 7 losses in a row is not good. But the fact, 193 wins, 8 AFC North titles in one of the toughest divisions in football. You got to put some respect on his name, man. He's going to be missed, and I hope they bring in the right one. But I already could tell you the next coach will be a 30-year-old offensive guy, and I'm thinking it's going to be Chris Shula or Kubiak, one of those guys. They'll be 30s. Jim, you're way off once again with Mike McCarthy. They're not bringing in a guy in his 60s.
Chris Shula's 40.
39. So, he's still in that 30 bracket, Jim. Roughly around in that. So that's what I see happening. But the whole AFC North is going to look completely different. The one team I thought should have fired their coach, Cincinnati, they keep Zach Taylor.
Crazy.
But
Yeah, they told him to fire his coordinators, and he did.
Look,
Yeah, I don't know if that's
man,
what
they made zero moves on defense last offseason, and they
Exactly.
repeat that same thing. Look,
and the
coach
rookie,
and GM need to be fired right now.
It's been suspect for years. Their offensive line has been horrible. We saw it in the Super Bowl.
You know what, though, guys?
Like that for years.
What Fillmore just said, it's what the Steelers, obviously Tomlin's gone. Okay, everybody's talking about a 30-year-old coach. Okay, I think they need the right GM to help architect that team. Khan is a numbers cruncher. Who's going to be the new GM? The guy who
That's
knows
hard. I like
talent.
that.
The guy who knows talent. And that's everybody's pounding on the coach. I think they should hire a GM first, obviously, then the coach. But I don't think they'll probably end up keeping Khan.
Yeah, I think they are going to keep Khan.
listen,
I think that Khan. I don't think Khan is the problem. Khan puts. Tell me about.
And Andy White.
Tell me about the actual draft that Khan did that looked terrible at this point.
I don't think he drafted anybody. I think it was all Tomlin.
Oh no, that's not true. That's not true.
That's not just.
That's what I believe.
That's not the modus operandi in Pittsburgh. They took that kind of power away from Tomlin and away from most of the coaches for that matter a long time ago. Even when
Colbert.
With Colbert, when they got Colbert, they put the kibosh on a coach having that much power when it comes to the selection process. Like Bashotti said today. Bashotti said today that how much influence does the coaches and the players have? They says, and I'm just paraphrasing here, they have a voice, but they don't have a vote.
they have no
They have
power.
a say.
He said no power. They have a say, but no power.
Which is a great
That's what happened at the end of the year with Bill Cowher, when Bill Cowher wanted to have power and homeboy came in and took it over. But when they crossed over to Tomlin, it was sort of the same thing. That's not saying that he doesn't have a strong opinion of what happens in there, but the final vote goes to the GM and to the owner when it comes to those decision making. And
what reputation?
and I don't.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I understand about your reputation, but somebody has to start somewhere. Nobody comes out the womb and it's automatically this fear of talent because, look at Belichick. Belichick had a time. Belichick had a time in Cleveland about an hour or two, couple hours up the road, and he was trash in Cleveland.
Correct.
Then he got to another place, and whatever happened over there happened, but it didn't come out of the womb though. And he's been a good coach. So I say that to say this, I don't believe that Khan is the issue right now as we speak. The only problem I have with Khan is that when you talk about penny pinching, when it comes to swinging with some of these add-ons that we had in the past couple of years, especially at wide receiver, he doesn't want to give up the farm. And I can understand that to a certain point. And the reason I say that is because to a certain point, I think for the future, you got to keep these draft picks. You can't just swing for the fence.
Right.
Maybe he knew something that we don't know or that we know right now, and that it was going to be really difficult for anything to transpire. So what you want to do is that this year we have 12 draft picks?
13.
Wow.
13 draft picks.
They got to move up.
If the quarterback, you got to move up, but I believe that that kid Dante from Oregon, he went back to school.
Right.
I think the quarterback is some pickings. So whether they move up to get a franchise left tackle, because we haven't talked about that game. The one thing I noticed about this game is they left them tackles on the island. And them dudes on the island was getting fried up.
Well, but listen, these aren't regular defensive ends. I mean, that's the best hand in football right now.
Understood. So it comes full circle. When you talk about the problem that you have with Tomlin's biggest problem in my heart is that his coaching circle was weak. And he never had a coaching circle that could rise up and come to the job.
Right.
They should have never left the guys on the island.
Fillmore and Rome, I'm going to respectfully disagree with you as far as who ran the show. I do not see. I think when Colbert was gone, that's when Tomlin went through the hole and he ran the show. I think that he would ask, in my opinion, I think Khan was the numbers cruncher.
Right.
But I think Tomlin, who picked Pickens? Who picked Pickett?
The city.
No. Tomlin did not pick Pickett. Tomlin wanted Malik
That was
Willis.
Colbert.
Tomlin wanted Willis.
Okay, but after that
that draft by Colbert was a horrible draft. Really,
That was his last draft too.
That was a horrible
But
draft.
I do think that Tomlin ran the show, and whoever he picked, okay, that's why I said at the beginning of the show, they let him down. The draft picks and the veterans, they let him down. Now,
Yes.
you know, and that's going to happen. And
I agree.
It bothers the hell out of me when a coach puts so much trust in you, and you know, like Lamar Jackson. There's talk that he didn't get along with the offensive coordinator, or he didn't like Harbaugh. Well, that's fine, but you still have to be a professional. Hey, there's been some players I didn't like, okay? But if you're hitting 330, you're playing. They said Leo DeRocher, they said you could kill his mother, but if you were hitting 320, you were starting. You have to be professional. But again, back to my original point, I know what you're saying, Rome and Fillmore, but for me, I really believe, and even looking at his personality and he did have a track record, and I do believe the coach should, what did Bill Parcells say? If I'm going to cook the meal, I should help.
Yeah, buy the groceries.
Yes. Right.
And that's why you have to have the GM and the head coach really pulling the same rope at the same time, the same direction for the same purpose. But in this case, in my opinion, Khan came out of nowhere. I didn't know what he did to, in football. So I don't know. You guys know.
Audio. Other teams were looking at him. They were going to give him the GM position.
Yeah, but I don't go by that, Ralph.
So the Steelers got scared and they gave him that job.
Let me tell you something about professional teams in sports. They hire improperly. They don't know what the hell they're talking about, a lot of them. They really don't. In the 70s and 80s and 90s, they did. And a lot of these pro organizations, they hire some guys that you would be shocked that they hire, okay? And it's like, what? Just because you have a good notebook and you come in organized, and that doesn't mean you can relate to players or talent, okay?
Right.
But another thing, though, and I won't mention the coach's name because I don't want to dog him, but there was a coach there was a good football player, okay?
Sam Walton.
And then he was an assistant coach. Then everybody said, oh, man, this guy said he's going to be a good head coach. Then that guy said, oh, yeah, he's going to be a head coach. And then he got hired and he sucked. Why did they hire him? Because everybody said he was going to be a good head coach, and so on and so on and so on. Don't listen to all this garbage. Interview the man. If you like how he presents himself, what he says, and his game plan to build a winning team, hire him. Don't worry that somebody else likes him, or whatever.
But that's what they did, Claudio, because there were 4 or 5 teams that wanted him as a GM. So they gave him that position so he wouldn't leave.
It was a mistake.
Listen, I think it's too early to really criticize him. I think his draft picks has been good, but like Rome said, his downfall is 2 years in a row he only had a wide receiver 1 and then a bunch of wide receiver 4s.
And they brought in Andy Weidel from Philly, who built that team on his own. They brought him in as an assistant GM to help Khan.
Right.
So
but
like you buying a dog and you barking.
But to Claudio's point, though, there's a such thing as promotion to ignorance, right? We look at people like Josh McDaniel, who did a great job of being an offensive coordinator, but he had 2 shots at being head coach. As soon as he became a head coach, he became ignorant.
Drafted Tim Tebow.
So
from Dallas,
he keeps getting shot.
He was the San Diego Chargers coach. I always forget his name.
Don Coryell.
No. He was the Dallas Cowboys head coach. I'm sorry, offensive coordinator. He was pretty good. North Turner.
Oh, North Turner.
North. Yeah.
Another one, good coordinator, stinky coach.
North Turner was a great offensive coordinator. But
different ball game being the head coach. Different ball game.
Absolutely. Hey, real quick, let's change tunes before we get out of here. Let's doing this. Jim, you've been kind of quiet. Let's go up our playoff picks. Jim, you were wrong on Houston last week very badly. You said the Steelers would kill them. Maybe redeem yourself. Who do you have? Houston goes to New England. Who do you have in that game?
I've been quiet because you haven't called on me, but let me just say this.
Whining, quick grind.
I was with the Steelers in 2000. Came from the Detroit Lions as a pro personnel guy, where he scouted guys who was already in the National Football League for free agency. Bill Cowher says, "I'll quit if you don't fire Donahoe." So when they fired Tom Donahoe, the only thing Cooper did for Bill Cowher was get his coffee in the morning. Bill Cowher was the GM. Bill Cowher ran everything. You know, and you guys are right. Kevin Colbert did take over when Tomlin first got the job.
And he had some bad
experience by then.
And he had some bad draft picks.
Bill Cowher was showing Kevin Colbert when he got the coffee. But anyway, I think Houston got an opportunity to upset the New England Patriots, who has the offensive MVP of the league. You guys talk about New England's defense. That quarterback is pretty good. He's going to win league MVP.
It should be Matthew Stafford is what I think is going to happen.
For what? What should it be?
Well, he had more passing yards and touchdowns than Drake May.
Because he got gray in his beard like you?
I'm going by stats. I'm just going by stats, Jim. I'm going by stats. You know, more passing yards, more touchdowns, not the same in interceptions. I say he's the MVP, but
you keep forgetting I got a Heisman vote. I ain't voted for a Heisman winner yet. Go ahead.
Yeah, we know about your votes. All right, let's go around. I think Houston could pull the upset in New England. That defense, I think they can give Drake May problems. If C.J. Stroud doesn't have 5 turnovers, I think they could win a close one. I'm going by a score of 24-20. I think they could win. All right. Anybody else? Fillmore.
The Texans and the Patriots. Yeah. I don't have faith in C.J. Stroud, man. He's been actually going down since his rookie year. So he has. And look, and Bryce Young's been ascending since his rookie year. Yeah. Look at that. Yeah. So I got the Patriots, man. I don't got faith in the Texans offense.
All right, hey, we got my man Rich from the underground. Hey, Rich, this filthy Rich.
How you doing, Luca?
What's going on, bro? What's going on? Thanks for the call, man.
What's up, man? What's up, fellas?
Hey, how you doing, Rich? The underground.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, I just want to give a shout out to Mike Tomlin real quick because we all know that's the biggest subject in town right now, maybe in the nation when it comes to football. 19 winning seasons. I don't care what nobody say. That's a grand accomplishment. I truly believe that's the statistic that's going to get the man in the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He got 1 Super Bowl and another appearance. The city of Pittsburgh loves to forget about that when they bash Mike Tomlin. All they want to talk about is the last 9 years and the 7 playoff losses, and they stop right there, and they never talk about the first half of his career. When they talk about Chuck Noll, they talk about the first half of his career, and they act like they want to forget about the second half of his career in the 80s. At 48 years old, like he was 12 and 13 or younger than that, and crying watching the Steelers, wishing we would make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Watching Tim Worley fumble the ball.
Right. Walter Abercrombie. Mark Malone.
Come on, don't mess with Reverend Worley there.
We remember them days.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, Chuck Noll had his downfall too, but people like to forget. We also know Bill Cowher caught a lot of flack too. So, in his days, and his career was kind of in reverse, right?
Yes. He lost AFC championship games.
Without it, he had to wait till his the second to last season to win the Super Bowl, and that was kind of Bettis and all the boys kind of did it for him, So, if Bill Cowher's in the Hall of Fame, there's no way Mike Tomlin ain't in the Hall of Fame. When he goes 19 winning season, that's nothing to poop on, man. I just believe that. I remember Frank Gore. They didn't want to let Frank Gore into the Hall of Fame because they felt because of his longevity, that's the only reason he had all the yards. But we all know, we all football players in this room, and availability is the best ability, right?
Yeah,
That's right.
And 19 winning seasons, I don't care what nobody say, that's an accomplishment. I think about a game you watching in the fourth quarter is 34-0, and what does the coach that's losing? He kicks that field goal to get that 3 points on the board, right? You don't want that shutout. Well, that 19 winning season is a shutout in a reverse way. You know what I mean? It's like blowing somebody out. If Mike Tomlin went out there and lost one season, that whole statistic that's going to put him in the Hall of Fame is gone.
right.
With one losing season, it's gone. So, you know, I just want to call in and say shout out to Mike Tomlin. I think he made a good decision by stepping down. If the city don't want you, if you got some weird dude walking up to your crib with a sign going crazy, doing stupid stuff, that's just a sign, man. Maybe it's just time to go. He did a great job. You know what I'm saying? We got to love Mike Tomlin around here, man. When we look back 20 years from now, we say 19 winning seasons, that's going to be a flex, man. I don't care what nobody say. That's a flex.
That's true.
It's a flex this year, not 20 years now. It's a flex right now.
I feel you. But you know, there's some people out there that act like that's poo-poo, though. You know, we've heard.
Yeah, they're like, and they boo-hoo it all, 9-8, Mike. Which, in all actuality, he only had one season where he was 9-8.
Right.
The reality is, he only had one
Coaching
season
for
where he was
42 years. I've been coaching for 42 years. Trust me when I tell you, it is not. I don't know of anybody who had 19 who never had a losing season.
Right.
I know I had a couple. It wasn't my fault, but we had a couple.
He had more 12-4 seasons than he did 500 seasons.
Right.
Hey, you know what? Real quick before I forget, because I'm old, I'll forget. Did Omar Khan? Did he appear in a press conference to talk about the Tomlin stepping down?
I
don't recall. I don't recall now.
I didn't see anything yet.
Manager would not have a press conference, or at least next to Rooney, and give his opinion.
Good point.
Right.
Good point.
What did you say? Repeat that again.
What general manager has ever not appeared in a press conference in any sport when the coach stepped down or was fired or retired?
Good point. He was crunching numbers, Claudio. He was crunching those numbers.
Yeah, his numbers crunch.
As Jim said, right, Jim?
Here's another thing, though, fellas. I'm surprised I still haven't seen Mike Tomlin in a live press conference actually, you know, retiring or stepping down. You know, just to I mean, he wrote a letter, and I read the letter and all, but I haven't seen him in a live press conference. I thought that was, if we don't see that by Friday, I'm thinking that's kind of an odd thing. I don't know if there's any rift or anything like that. He feels like some type of way. But I thought he would get on live TV and, you know, talk his talk and take everybody live, but maybe not.
Hey, he might be on a pivot podcast with Ryan Clark.
What kind of questions do you think that you're going to get if you're going to be stepping down? If you've been getting trash questions for like the past 5 or 6 years, who wants to stand in front of there and take live ammo about the same stupid questions that you know Pittsburgh media is going to ask them over and over and over and over again? You know, the last time somebody asked him a really stupid question and he looked at that camera and walked off? He don't want that to be his legacy. He checked the deuce, put the letter, and just walked it off.
That's like at the Houston post-game show, Rich. He was asked a question by Brooke Pryor from ESPN. She asked him about his future, and he brushed it off, and she's always asking him questions. She asked him the question about his contract, and he walked off the podium. So, I mean, you know, or off the stage, you know, that time 2 years ago. So,
personally, I would be disgusted with Pittsburgh media myself also.
Yes.
I think they started all the fire. You know?
Yeah, Brooke Pryor from ESPN she was the one that really did it. I mean,
yeah. But about the Texans, fellas, one quick time, man. I just think, first of all, about the whole team, the whole season. I just don't think I think Mike Tomlin overachieved once again. I don't think that offense was very good at all this year. I just wonder what you guys think about the offensive coordinator and defense coordinator not being, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I didn't hear any of them be getting relieved or anything like
No,
that.
Terrell Austin's
Terrell
contract
Austin
ran out, and Arthur Smith's interviewing for head coaching jobs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they're both.
What I'm hoping doesn't happen. What I'm hoping doesn't happen is that damn Art Smith becomes the head coach.
That I don't see that happening. But both of them, but both coordinators.
In the interview, the owner said that he doesn't foresee any of these coaches stepping up to be head coaches.
Right.
Now, he didn't leave out the fact that there might be a possibility that someone might do a lateral move. But with both of these quarterbacks' contracts up, and them bringing in another.
Art Smith has 1 year left.
No. It's his second year. This is his second year.
Art Smith has 1 year left, and but Terrell Austin's done. But I don't think.
I thought he signed for 2 years. Last year and this year, that's 2 years.
No, he still has another.
He signed for 3.
He has another year. Yeah, but I don't think he'll be retained. But the Steelers don't like to pay somebody if they're not here.
I think it'll be a difficult assessment if we bring in a whole nother coach and they keep that same offense in here. If
That's not happening.
We're not going to get a quarterback worth their salt.
Don't be surprised if Art Smith doesn't go back to Tennessee, unfortunately, for Cam Ward. That would be a horrible move.
Yeah, right.
I don't understand the attraction. I don't get it.
He's a good old boy, Claudio.
But even if you look, Luther, okay, let me put it to you this way. You asked me to be on this show. You like me, I think, but you didn't ask me. Sometimes you didn't ask me to do anything tech-wise, or you didn't ask me to help your kids with trigonometry because I'm not the right guy. Art Smith has proved he's not. You might like him, you might love him. That's great. He's a good guy. He'll deliver the mail like his old man. That's great, but he's not a good offensive coordinator.
Absolutely.
See what I'm saying?
You're right.
Who's Arthur Smith's dad? Arthur Smith's dad is some rich dude, right? Some really rich dude. What is it?
Jim, who's his dad, Jim?
FedEx, I think.
FedEx,
yeah. He's a good old boy. You said it right.
He's definitely tied in, but he's not going to be back. I just don't understand, like you said, Claudio. Where's the hype? Have they not watched the offense? Did they not just watch his offense put up 6 points?
That's what when they say, and they keep hiring these guys because somebody else says it.
Yeah.
The hell with that. Be your own man. Interview. I mean, what has he done?
Yeah.
What has he done?
Look, he had route concepts we did at Westinghouse in '97.
Hey, Rich, question. Now, who do you want to see him bring in? I know you've been doing it, and let us know that when your show's on, man. You got a great show. We want to make sure.
Okay, well, I was doing a game day show every day before the game, so probably this Friday night I'll do one for the playoff breakdown, and I kind of just go with the flow of the schedule. All year I did a Sunday show, but now I'm doing like Friday so I can break down all 4 playoff games because they go Saturday and Sunday, so I'll be on Friday night, and then maybe Sunday morning if I'm feeling good, but probably not because the first games will be over. But anyway, when it comes to the Steelers, man, I'm feeling like the Steelers or thinking offensive coordinator because I think the fans, they've been giving in to fan pressure a while now. Maybe ever since they fired Canada, I feel like they've been giving in to fan pressure, So I'm thinking offensive coordinator. I don't know who I really want, but I do think it's going to be a young guy. I agree with what you said earlier. It's definitely going to be a young guy. And it's going to be somebody I think that the Steelers feel like they can control, man. I hate to use that word, but kind of reminds me of Bill Cowher and Mike Tomlin came in. They were both young. They're both the youngest coaches to come in the league. And they didn't really bring coaches with them, And that's why I asked y'all about the offensive coordinators. Even though those two are trash, it's kind of tradition for the Steelers to bring guys in and kind of give them a staff. But maybe they go left because they've been giving in to fan pressure. So maybe they give a guy some control all of a sudden because that's the new age of football, and they got to keep up with the Joneses, man. We can't go nowhere if we keep playing small ball, man, especially without Mike Tomlin and playing small ball. He was good at it. I don't know if another coach is going to be good at playing small ball like Mike Tomlin, man. So, yeah, whoever we get, we're going to have to let him give him a little control. I would hope.
Go ahead, Jim. What were we saying, Jim?
Bill Cowher brought in all his coaches. The only thing he had to keep was Dick Hope. They said you got to keep Dick Hope, but he brought in all new coaches. Mike Tomlin was the only one that they made keep all Bill Cowher's coaches.
Okay.
Yeah, because you got to remember they went from a 4-3 to a 3-4 with Bill Cowher.
Right.
Yeah.
That was a complete.
Yeah. Don Capers and Big LeBeau was his buddy.
Right. Yeah, those are the days, man. Hey, Rich, man, appreciate the call, man. Any predictions on this weekend? Texans, Pats?
Yeah, I like the Texans a lot, like y'all do on the upset up in New England. I like the Broncos to beat the Bills. I don't think they're gonna get away with that. What they got away with Jacksonville again. I think the Broncos defense is better. Who else we got? I said the Niners was going to the Super Bowl.
Yes, sir. You see the hat? Yes, sir. Go.
Yeah. They gotta take them over. Who they got again?
You got San Fran over Seattle in Seattle.
Yeah, I think Sam Darnold going to choke up in one of these playoff games, man. You know, like he usually do, like he did in Minnesota last year, and he did it a couple times this season in the 3 losses. They are tough though. They got real good defense, so I'm a little worried about that one. And the last one is
Rams and Bears.
Rams and the Bears. I definitely got the Rams, man. I think the Bears defense is going to give it up this time. You know, they got kind of lucky in Green Bay for real. Even though I didn't like Green Bay like that. The Bears defense, I don't think he's going to be able to keep up with the Rams, and the Rams got to have decent defense, so I'm going to get out one of them.
Okay. All right. Hey, Rich, appreciate the call, man.
Hey, man, appreciate y'all, man. I am going to keep watching. Y'all know that, man, so keep it flowing.
All right, Rich, man.
Hey, Luth, I got to head out, but here's my Super Bowl pick. Hold on.
Bills and Rams.
There you go.
All right.
This is old school. I got stuff from Seattle Seahawks here, from everywhere. Chuck went. He would send my mom. Chuck Knox would send my mom all kind of dishes and stuff.
Oh man, you got it all.
I got a bank from '73.
The old school one
got
bar.
money in there. I got the same money in there.
With one bar. That's real classic there, man. Hey, listen.
All right, fellas.
All right, Claudio.
All right, Claudio.
See you guys. Thank you.
And Smoker Jim.
See you later, Claudio.
Who you got? Bills against the Denver Broncos.
I got the Bills. I still say the Broncos is fool's gold. They had a weak schedule. I got the Niners over the Seahawks. Because guess what? There's a big chance that Fred Warner's coming back to play. There's a big chance that they look. The NFL reported that. The NFL.com. You know what I'm saying? They look and they split.
That's too quick.
Look, and they split during the season, and they beat them with Mac Jones. So that's
what happened when they played with Brock Purdy? Look,
that's fine. It's a division game. The NFC West is stunting right now, and they split. That game go either way, but I got San Fran. I also got the Rams over the Bears. I think my MVP Matthew Stafford is going to show up. And I don't know if Caleb Williams going to do his thing, but that's what I got going on.
Okay. All right, and the Pats and Texans.
Oh, I got the Pats. Yep.
Okay. All right.
I got the Pats. I don't trust CJ Stroud.
Dang. Listen, I'm going to go. Listen, Seahawks is beating the 49ers. 49ers just lost George Kittle with an Achilles. They got
that was ugly.
Place. Seahawks are going to run the ball down their throat and then open it up to Smith and Jigba. Listen, I got Seahawks all over. 49ers.
Hey, coach the year, Kyle Shanahan. He did more with less than anybody else.
Yeah, overrated coach. Yeah, he did a lot, but he's going home in the division round. And like you, I think the Bears Cinderella story comes to an end. It's going to be a rematch to one of the greatest games of the 2025 season, Seahawks and the Rams. They're going to play in the NFC Championship. I think the Texans could pull the upset against the Patriots. I think that D is going to make life miserable for Drake May like they did for Rodgers. And I think CJ Stroud will be able to capitalize on some short fields and not make 5 turnovers like he had against the Steelers. And I got the Bills pulling the upset against the Broncos. the championship will be in Houston, the AFC championship. Smoker Jim, let's get yours before we get out of here. Who you got, Bills and Denver Broncos?
I never bet against Josh Allen. He's just incredible. I don't know how he finished that last game. What a heart of a champion. He got all of Jim Kelly in him, so I'm going with Buffalo.
All right. Sam Fred, 49ers. Who you got?
This Brock Purdy coming the same draft with Kenny Pickett. Wow, Coach Tomlin would probably still be here if the Steelers have Brock Purdy.
Mr. Irrelevant.
I'm going with Mr. Get It Done, Brock Purdy.
Wow,
go ahead, Jim. That's what I'm talking about, Jim.
They got no Kittle, all these backups. It's just about stopping. You guys are talking about Brock Purdy. It's CMC. Christian McCaffrey is the guy.
Listen, man. Hey, in the famous words of Sidney Dean, even the sun shines in the dog's ass someday.
All right, and last one. Last one, Rams versus Bears. Who you got?
The Rams don't have no heart.
Ooh.
The only one that got heart is that long haired guy from Hawaii.
Puka Nakua.
Your boy from the taco commercial, he was making business decisions going over the Middle East side. I think the Bears, I told you when he was in college, I've never seen anybody manipulate the pocket. I like that number 18 for Chicago.
Caleb Williams.
The boy does things that you can't coach. I think he got all his weapons back. And this is the year of the Bears. They got a great coach. Did not.
Okay. All right. And championship. It'll be Monday before our next show. Who y'all got? Good. I'm glad you brought that up, Underground. I'm gonna go with Indiana, man. I think Indiana is ready. They're gonna have a tough time stopping that big offensive line and run game.
Way to go out on a limb.
But I got Indiana beating Miami. That's who I got. All right, who you got, Jim?
Miami beating Indiana to death. I think they're going to take your heart.
That's a bit much, though.
This is 1989 when Terry High School played the number 4 team in the nation, Berwick, and took their heart, baby. Hey, look here, man. The New Orleans Saints made Brett Favre quit when they put that bounty out. You know, the Oakland Raiders used to make you quit. Listen, that Miami team is fast or mean, and they got about 15 Hall of Famers on their sideline. I'm going for Michael Irvin to spank that butt. I'm going with Miami in a route, man. I think they're going to take your heart.
Oh, okay. All right. Big Rome, who you got in this one before we get out of here?
From IUP to Indiana, I'm going with Indiana winning the championship.
Absolutely. All right, and I heard you throw them up. I know you going with
you cannot go. I told you can't bet against Crack Irvin. You can't do it.
Man, right around facing boys with belts.
Fresh off the boat. Got that fresh off the boat.
That boy's juiced up, man. Who he going to kiss this time? He didn't kiss Cristobal on the lips one day. It's a couple cheerleaders. I thought he was going to catch another case. Man, what he take beforehand, but okay. Underground.
This is all I want to see on the sidelines. This right here.
Yep.
Straight from the White House.
I might change my vote if I see him do this to the sidelines. I might go in Miami.
Oh man, hey man, that's the show, man. This was live, man. Again, we got to give credit, Mike Tomlin. While people want to hate on him, I've been giving him credit all day. King of the city for years. There he is, Mike. There he is.
Yes, sir.
Mike.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for 19 great years. No scandals. You had put up with a whole lot. Ben with all this stuff that they try to hide. You know, AB got CTE and you kept him on the team. You know, Le'Veon Bell wanted to be a rapper and do all this other stuff, hanging with Blunt, and kept it moving. Dealing with, the George Pickens and Chase Claypools. Wow. Wow. So, hey, kudos to Mike Tomlin, man. Appreciate you for smoking, Jim, Claudio, Ralph, Big Rome, Fillmore, Bub. Listen, man, great show. Appreciate you guys. We'll check you out next time. Check out the website. Yo, we got the standard and standard shirts. Make sure you get yours. You see it. All right, we'll check you out next time. Peace.